Hello again adventurers, welcome to another exciting video from Arctic Circle in Norway. Today we're gonna be traveling to Senja Island where we're gonna do our first hike there. So let's get into the vlog. So Senja Island is not very far from Tromsø, but at this time of the year there's no more ferries going to the island, so we have to drive all around the fjord, which takes at least 2 hours. The drive along the fjord was going pretty fast because of all the amazing scenery, even though it was cloudy weather. And here we already arrived to this bridge connecting the Senja Island with the Norway mainland.
Has anybody told you why? Have you any idea why?
So here we already arrived to Senja Island, but we have another half an hour of drive around the island because our accommodation is on the northwest side. And here we stop at this viewpoint by the side of the road to make a little break.
Did he tell you why? Has anybody told you why? Have you any idea why?
So by now we should be getting some amazing views of these mountains with the rocky cliffs, including the famous Segla mountain, but because of the clouds we don't see much. Unfortunately the weather will stay like this for the next few days. To get the nice weather in Norway is a real privilege. And here we are passing through one of the many tunnels on the way. So there is a lot of tunnels in Norway because there are hills and islands everywhere. And over here we can see a little bit of the Segla mountain where we plan to hike when the weather clears up. And here we are passing through a little village called Senja, which is pretty much the last village before our accommodation, where we can get some more food or gas for the car. Right, and here we are going for a little afternoon walk before sunset near our accommodation at the Mefjordvær village on the northwest side of the island. The whole day been drizzling a little rain, but we have some raincoat, so it's not too bad. So we are just following this little path along the river, but the problem is that the path is really muddy from the rain. But luckily in the wettest places they put these wooden bridges so your feet don't get totally wet. Over here we got to some crossroads with these signs that keep going on the right to who knows where. We don't even have it on the map, but we're just gonna keep going more on the left, making a loop around. And over here we discovered this little leaflet with some emergency numbers and some other information in Norwegian. And over here we can see some waterfall in the distance. We actually thought that this path would go around it, but it just keeps going away to where we started. I think I'll go around here tomorrow morning and try to see if I can connect to the waterfall. Alright, and here I'm already next morning. I actually connected to the waterfall, but there was no path. I was just pretty much bushwhacking. But as I said, here in Norway is not a problem because the grasses are not too high and the woods are not really thick. And here I got to this bigger waterfall that we saw yesterday from the distance. It looks kind of like a water slide in aqua park, but I think if you try to slide down it, you would get hurt by some rocks there. I really like this policy of these Nordic countries like Sweden, Norway and Finland, where everybody can enjoy nature and there is not much fences around. Even the houses don't have fences around, so you can pretty much get into nature and just walk wherever you want. You really feel much more freedom than in other countries where they surround the whole forest with the barbed wire fences. And even though there was a frost a few days ago, there are still these blueberries growing and they're still quite tasty. Over here I got to the second bigger waterfall, but as I said, there is no path going through here, so it felt like rediscovering nature here. Alright, and at this point the river started going more flat. There was no views or path for running. So from here I'm just gonna try to go up this hill and try to descend back down with the valley that's on the other side. It took me only a few minutes to get up to this hill and you can see the river where I was running down there. So I see I could just descend down to the valley from this side over here, but I'm just gonna try to go along this ridgeline, see if there is a way to descend back down at the end. Alright, and here I pretty much got till the end of this ridgeline, and as you can see it's quite a big drop from here. I could maybe descend down to this second ledge that you can see under me, but I think after that there is another big drop, so it's not worth it to risk it, especially in this wet weather when everything is slippery. Right, so I managed to descend down to the valley, so I was up there and I tried to descend on the left, but there was that steep cliff, so I had to go all the way around here on the right, and now I'm just gonna go straight down here. Over here on the left it seems like there was another path, but it also seemed quite steep and also slippery. Now it looks like I have to do some bushwhacking through these bushes here. And over here you can see the end of the ridgeline from down, so you can see how steep it is. It has these little cascades of like 3-meter drops. It's definitely not worth the risk. And after descending down I see that there is another waterfall on the right, but there is no way I'm gonna get up there because the ground is full of bumps and holes, so you can easily twist your ankle here. So here you can see how I went. I got from that waterfall, followed the valley all the way around, got up to that hill over there. So you can see from here how gnarly it looks, the steep cliffs. There was no way I would risk that. And then I just got back down from the other side of the valley. So thanks for watching our first adventure in Senja. Today we also plan to do some coast steering, so stay tuned for that video. And as always, stay healthy and stay adventurous.